Hey everybody, this is Asher, back with more FTL Advanced Edition Hard Mode, where we're going to be doing post-commentary style today because I screwed up the recording previously, and you may hear me out in the background. That's not the reason why, but we do have a new member of the menagerie here, a kitten, so that's fun. We'll talk about that in another video at some point, unless I get time to bring it up here. But after talking briefly about the shenanigans of last game, I debate what I want to play because I've unlocked some Type Bs. I want to unlock the Rock Type B. Off camera, have not done that yet, so just thinking about a random ship, and then I decided, you know what, screw it. Let's have a good run here. Let's play as a ship that I have a bad history with. Let's see if we can make it better today. That ship is in fact going to be the, drumroll please, the Engi B. So instead of doing a random run, we are actually going to be doing the I Believe run on the Engi B, which is just very simple. We're going to play on hard, and you all know the ship as well as I do. It is a mean MFer with two very big guns, the heavy laser and the heavy ion. You got to parlay it into something good. So let's start right into this distress beacon. This is the ship that I have lost on the first jump before. And right now we have a Zoltan ship with a missile launcher, which is not great. But, I mean, the nice thing about the heavy ion is that it does eat through Zoltan lasers really well. So that may be something that we can take on here. Now, if you hear some rumbling in the background, once again, that is a cat, which, if depending on when this video versus another recording that I made today goes on, you may hear about the cat one way or another. As of yet, unnamed, but I mean, just what it boils down to is that where I live, there are a lot of stray cats. One of our neighbors had a stray litter months ago, and then as cats get older, they don't necessarily leave, or they don't necessarily stay in their family group, as you may well know. Males get kicked out. Now, we have adopted a stray before that was kicked out, but turns out that was from the same mother that ate a lot of her young because their young had birth defects because of severe second and third generational inbreeding. That's not this case here. This is just a cat who's otherwise healthy, just followed us home. And when I say followed us home, literally, our kids go to school within walking distance of where we live, so we get to walk home. Sometimes on a nice day when we can get out of work early enough, we actually walk to get them. And cat followed us. And there's your story. Actually followed us all the way home. So figure, you know what? Hadn't had one in a while. About time. So look at that. All that talking. And we actually, without much drama at all, got our first kill. And I had to check and say, is this hard? I didn't check to try and say that fight was too easy. I checked because that was a really high scrap reward for that fight. But still, there's a good store. So what I'm going to try and do here, and what you really got to do in most FTL runs, but especially on hard, and especially with a ship like the Engi B, is to get as many jumps in as possible to try and maximize your scrap. Because while the Engi B has a lot of things you can sell, it doesn't always mean you actually want to sell them. So we'll see kind of what that turns into here in just a moment. We do have another Zoltan ship, and fortunately it doesn't have the kind of things that can kill us straight away. But like I said, we did manage to avoid some pretty possibly nasty missile shots. So that's a positive. And right there, between those two shots, the Zoltan shield's down. So very good for us in the early stages as the drone room gets hit. And one thing to keep in mind is that as long as your drone room's powered up, your repair drones will heal. So once I can get kind of through that first barrage of defenses, all I got to worry about is bombs. And then since it's an ion bomb, it's not really posing a serious threat. So 4 fuel is normally the kind of surrender offer I'll take, but especially on a ship like this, I really want to get scrap, and I'm at 17 fuel, which is still pretty good. So fortunately, even though we have no dodge because we only have one engine, the ion bomb hits the wrong room, which means that we are about to hit pay dirt. So heavy laser, kaboom. Decide to repair my dude a little bit from where he got missiled in the cockpit previously. Still got 3 fuel instead of the surrender for 4, so maximizing scrap, a good thing. And just like that, that's 2 successful encounters. Can we go ahead and make it to the store and make this a threefer, if that's what you want to call it today? Unfortunately, an empty jump there, and like I said, this is post-commentary if you missed that at the very beginning. The problem was I tried to change around my audio settings specifically for FTL because I like to just record and drop straight onto YouTube. Turns out that the audio track that it kept and merged with the other thing was the game audio track, not the microphone track. So easy fix, just the kind of thing where I should have been responsible and did a sound check ahead of time and did not. So here we are, post commentary. It means it's going to I'm not going to be able to just play straight through and put the next part of this video straight out. But on the other hand, it's nice that I stopped to check instead of going on a recording. But let's go ahead and see what happens here as we have Engi B firing against the clone bay. And just right now, it's a pretty simple back and forth. I mean, the Engi B is fairly straightforward. You want to take down the shields, and you want to use your heavy laser to the max of its effect. Heavy laser is a very good weapon because it only has 1 power. It is a weapon that you can hold on to until the end of the game. But the reason that that's a little tougher to do on the Engi style ships is because they only have 3 weapon slots. It's 25 scrap total. That is a lot for Sector 1. It's a whole lot for Sector 1. That's a lot for later in the game. Unless I'm just crazy. They really wanted their toll though, so we're going to hear probably a little more catastrophe in just a minute. I'll tell you, doing work in a home office with a kitten that wants attention all the time is about as difficult as I imagined, especially when I'm wearing work clothes that are not exactly ready for kitty claws. So that's part of that fun. As I don't know, like I said, my mic's pretty good if I have the settings set correctly, so you're probably getting some of the background, at least some of the cat calls. We'll see though. Right now, this fight, this one scares me because of the ion charge laser. Fortunately, the AI is pretty terrible at timing its charge lasers with the mini beam there, so we're usually pretty good. They're trying to run away. They're not going to be able to run away, I hope. Let's see here. So I do have a heavy ion. Heavy laser's got a hit, and it does, so I just got to do 1 more damage. I got to wait for their shield to go up. And I don't know if this is the part where I saw before is, hey, maybe I should stop auto-firing the heavy ion laser. My timing's being pretty good, but it's getting, like, right there was pretty damn close. And the one risk for not going for that extra store jump was, if I got some event that had a double pursuit for the Rebel fleet, that'd be one thing. But the biggest takeaway is I was trying to find a good store, and this store doesn't really have anything I want. For Engi B, I want weapons, and I want weapons fast. None of this stuff helps me. So I whiff. So this is a big whiff on the store. I could even sell the drone reactor booster, but there's no great reason to here yet. Could even repair, but once again, I'm not at critical. Fortunately, there's another store 2 jumps away. So that's something that can hopefully happen. And once again, all these mercenaries, and unfortunately, this could be the ship that says, hey, maybe you should have got something at the last store or upgraded your shields or something instead. 2 lasers and a combat drone is terrible. Fortunately, I have 2 system repair drones, so I will be able to react to this. And take down the weapons right away as Kitty Cat, as of yet unnamed, Mr. Kitty Fantastico, I don't know, is definitely enjoying that shot so far. Take the drone down too, so some very good aim by the automated ship of Wysing. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And that's okay surrender offer, except that we are not getting a lot of fuel. Or we're getting a lot of fuel from our encounters anyway. So we're not really hurting for it right now. Once again, I'm really hoping for scrap, 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 and more scrap. That's what we really want for all this. So just one more set of weapons fire here, and hopefully I can get the heavy ion and the heavy laser to hit. That would be ideal. So let's see here. Just a few system fires here. As you can, the frustration in my microphone in the live recording is palpable because it's like I should be killing this right now, but I just can't hit anything. But here we go. A little bit of hull damage. Remember that for later in this video. Just the inability to hit. Pretty disgusting right there. So what do we got? We got Pegasus heavy, not so much, but then a hull laser. Hull laser, kind of a saving grace right now. 55 scrap is about what you hope for at this stage of the run, so I go ahead and buy it. Now, I could sell the drone reactor booster. In fact, I do sell the drone reactor booster because it's not the biggest deal in the world to have that there, and I'm still going to hold on to the heavy ion for now because, once again, if I hit Zoltan ships, that eats through it really well. As yeah, I love this. I can actually see the post commentary, the audacity, the sound waves. It's like I'm talking. I take a breath and you hear meow. So 1 shield bubble damage upgrade. I would love to have level 2 shields by the end of Sector 1, even with only 1 engine power, because I find that laser weapons and stuff tend to be more dangerous. But instead, for now, we're just going to have to deal with another... Oh, let's see here. That's a heavy laser. That shouldn't be able to hurt me. And a missile launcher, which fortunately it's a leader missile. Unfortunately, it is 2 bits of fire. So it's an incendiary missile. So let's take all that out right away. Now I can't get damage at Sector 1, so these, even on hard, these ships typically don't have transporters. Although it doesn't stop people from trying to transport on the ship anyway. So... like I said, part of the interesting thing of this is... And I guess here's the really funny part, is that during my live recording, Cat didn't give 2 shits about what was going on. Dogs didn't care at all. Moment stuff like stops. Moment like I realize stuff goes wrong, dogs start going crazy, want to go outside. Cat's like, oh, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna mess with you. So that's animal things for you. So I'm sure there was like more interesting things that I could be talking about right now. And we'll get to there, because FTL is that kind of game where it's like you have jumps. I did get actually a really interesting recommendation for a game to play, as I don't have any sensors, so I can't get any upgrades for that. It was some Explorer Treasure Island game. I forget exactly what it was called. I did look at it a little bit. Maybe if they have like a free weekend or something, I'll take a look at it. But one of those, you take a few people with you and you can go around and explore random parts of the map. Laid out a lot like FTL, and so we have another store right at the beginning of the sector, which could be very good. And I can probably get 1 jump in beforehand. And I do have a few things that I can sell, so... Asteroid field with intruders on board. Fortunately, I do have an anti-personnel drone that can take care of them. Unfortunately for me, they're going to go for my 2 combat drones, or my 2 repair drones first, so that is a rough bargain. Now, they don't have a transporter, so I can just go ahead and open the doors, and they can't actually run away. Unfortunately, I do not have upgraded doors, so that will be an issue as well. So I don't know if this combat or this anti-personnel drone is going to be able to chase the rock people down the ship. At least the rock people are just as slow as the drone is. I mean, that's entirely possibly a thing. And for some reason, I've never seen this before in all of my time of playing FTL. The rock people are actually staying and suffocating instead of trying to run. I don't know what, I don't know why. But they're just saying their life for ire or something, I guess. I don't know for sure. So, oxygen repair, and my weapons, meanwhile. And this is something that you get a little bit more from the live commentary. So, I'm trying to actually manage everything here, as I'm going to have to remove something from this room in just a minute if it's going to keep doing this. One thing to keep in mind is just that my weapon systems are constantly getting hit. I'm not using my heavy ion right now, and that is turning into quite the problem, because either the asteroids are hitting me or other things are hitting me. My hull's going down pretty well. I've barely done any damage to the ship. I do have 2 system repair drones just out and about. And unfortunately, on post-commentary, I'm always a little reticent to just sit and pause, especially in a bit of combat like this, where I'm down to 5 shields, things are tough, I actually have no shield power. Somehow my engines haven't been hit during all of this, so I'm recharging very, very, very slowly. And sure enough, let's see here, they can't run away, I can run away. And as much as I want to take this fight, I do elect to run. And where I run to is a store. And in the store, I could buy repairs. They also have pike beam hull laser, and I have a lot of things to sell. Now, this is where you kind of have a little bit of a choice to make. I really like the pike beam hull laser combo. It's going to last me for a bunch of sectors, albeit I'll have to find another way to do some damage in a while. I do have a heavy ion, but I sell it. We're in just about to die mode here. I have a heavy laser. I can sell it, and I do, because I need the scrap. I need the pike beam. I need the repairs. I don't need fuel. As once again, I hope you all are enjoying the cat sounds in the background, brought to you by cats. So we do get to watch this for a little bit. I'll take the opportunity to do that, and then we'll talk about the derp that I just made. Did you catch it? Let's see here. All right. Yes, we're in post-commentary land where this is an issue. All right. So you see I'm at 0 scrap, and look at all of the system power that I have. I cannot actually currently use the hull laser and the pike beam. So I believe that I could have done good in this run, but I just derped again. That's 2 runs in a row where it's like some horrible, horrible, easily avoidable mistake was made. And unfortunately, I can't get the scrap necessary to upgrade my weapons to level 4. So I'm just going to have to hope for some luck. I can't go back and take that fight. Definitely not now with just the hull laser. But what I can do is search the ship. And I got an ion blast. Now there's a chance that that event could have killed my 1 crew. But instead, here we are. I have signs of life again. Ion blast but hull laser can work until I get something else down. And what do you know? Another asteroid field, because 1 wasn't enough. Now it does have a heavy laser, which can hurt, so I do need to take that down. But if I can keep their shields down with the ion blast, then I should be in a better position. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. Alright, so hull laser for 2 miss. Plus all these ships have rock plating, so hull laser is not always going to work. So unfortunate heavy laser shot right in time in the door control. Once again, my engines are are very fortunately not being hit, not being blasted out of the sky. So that is a good bit of fortune on my end. So we do have the pirate investigator. I don't know what the pirates are technically wanting to investigate, but here we go. Almost dead. 3 more damage. Once again, I just gotta hope the ion blast lets me live long enough. As there's got to be a hull breach or a fire up where those system repair drones are going. It is fire. It's fire, and that's dead. And 3 scrap, 33. Unfortunately, I cannot upgrade my systems in an asteroid field. There's another store, which is kind of a safe haven. I like to go to the stress beacon first, which is a risk. But I feel like because I have the ion blast, I can possibly make it. So we do have a quest marker. We have another store. Not pushing my luck, just going to go to the store. There could be good things here. Long range scanner is one of my favorites. Burst laser is pretty nice. But I can't really afford to do much of anything without taking care of stuff. So I sell the ion blast. That's 15 free scrap. I didn't pay a dime for that. So we have systems available. We have money available. I'm debating whether or not to sell 1 system repair drone, but I like to keep 2 for now. Wow. So that's the other thing about where I'm living right now too, is that for a while I thought, okay, we got the cat. Oh my god, I'm allergic to cats because my nose is just bombed. Nope, turns out it's been warm enough this past week and a half that all the trees think it's spring again. So we're getting spring preview allergies plus fall allergies that I were just getting over. So I know some of you are like, oh my god, I hate the bodily function sounds all the time. Guess what? You're going to hear it in this video too. Once again, post-commentary is fun. Granted, you did miss the massive stuff I hacked up earlier. Not the details you need when I'm taking down shields and piloting, but the details you deserve. Now, they have no shields here, and I'm just wondering why am I waiting to fire the hull laser. And you saw the double resist on the rock plating, which is unfortunate luck, but good timing for their part. And once again, we have all kinds of things we can do. Level 2 shields. Something I wanted to do a really long time before. And now I'm realizing I need reactor power. What is this? The Engi B needs a little bit of everything. And you may say, of course, you spent 110 of your early scrap on new weapons and sold a lot of your beginning equipment. But let's remember, too, that I was on the verge of death at pretty much the beginning of Sector 2. And to go from the verge of death to this point is pretty good. And I think I made some witty comment about, ha ha ha, this ship can't hurt me at this point, and then forgot that I didn't have level 2 shields. So yeah, it's really hard to hurt an opposing ship if we're right at this point. But level 2 shields is going to last me for quite a bit. I don't need the system repair drones, so definitely do need some extra system power. I do have the hull laser going. One other thing I like about the hull laser, as sad as it does make me to get rid of the heavy laser, One thing I do like is that it times up a lot better with the pike beam. Even though it doesn't matter as much right now because I only have one crew, so my guy's definitely not going to be manning the piloting here. But yeah, there you go. Good shot here. I remember when I used to fire my pike beam laser shots from the engine up through the drone room. That's leaving a little bit of damage on the table, I think. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or maybe it's all just 5 damage anyway. Yeah, it's just 5. There's 1 or 2 of these Federation ships that I was doing it wrong the whole time through regular edition, and no one ever pointed out that there was another way to do a lot more damage. So, definitely need some power. Look, Mom, I can have level 2 shields. Yay. Now, I could have jumped a little further back. I didn't realize that that one beacon on the left wasn't overtaken by the Rebel fleet yet. But it's good because I got to use a repair drone to repair remotely. We have a distress beacon. I'm trying to math here. I do have 3 jumps before the exit beacon gets overtaken. We don't want to deal with overtaken beacons. So here's another distress beacon. Is it the Crystal crew member? If you saw that map layout the first go around, this is a good sector layout for finding and unlocking the Crystal ship. Lots of green and red, with the green coming early. But we fight giant alien spiders instead, which could have killed Weishing. But fortunately, I still have the anti-personnel drone, so instead we get hugs and kisses from the other people. So I do want to upgrade my doors at some point, but I am going to need to deal with the fact that I do want some engine upgrades. I do want some reactor upgrades. So at least now I can run one repair drone with everything else without having to shuffle everything around. And we can hail the ship. It's broadcasting stuff for sale. This is a trap. It's always a trap. I remember the first times I was playing Advanced Edition when that event was introduced, and I thought, oh good, I'll buy some gear, and then a bomb blew up my engines and I died. I think I got that one recorded. But right now we're fighting another ship that can't hurt me. So this is where, once again, I know people are like, you should be prioritizing and watching your engine upgrades. There's plenty of people that do very well in FTL that run with that dogma. But at least earliest in the game, if you can get level 2 shields, there are certain fights that will just be completely nullified. And this is one of them. The one thing you have to watch out for is if your ship can't do damage fast enough, they might just try and escape on you. So let's go for some more damage instead of critical systems. 4 fuel, not good enough because I have plenty of fuel. I just want more scrap, and I did manage to get more scrap, although I didn't really net out positively. But Sector 3, once again, I'm going for the crystal unlock, so we're going to the Engi. We went to a rock controlled where there can be excuse me, a damaged stasis pod. There was not. Now we're at the Engi controlled sector where good things can happen, as I do get an extra system repair drone, so free scrap and something I don't need so I can sell. Alright. So we're making it up here alright. There is actually another store, which we haven't had the best luck with stores, considering that some of our stores have had nothing we can use, but definitely done good here. And I do not like that charge laser. And I don't like being boarded. Especially when I can't properly micro my stuff and get that going, as I'm wondering, click, 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 why is it not working away? Unclick the system repair drone. We can't just reassign power that way. It's like weapons, only drones. Which, by the way, I forgot there was an achievement on the Engi ship for having 3 drones activated at once. All you gotta do is just upgrade the power here and you're okay. Now, hopefully, the AI doesn't suddenly figure out how to fire that. They did figure it out. So there's a lot of laser shots coming at me all at once. Gotta get that pike beam out now. Fortunately, the shots of the ones that do hit, it doesn't really do anything significant to any of my systems. So, combat drone can go back for repairs. And 2 shields, and then 4 powers and weapons. Yes, I have done a very offensively minded ship as the best offense is a good defense or something. As I really want to just take out their cockpit as best as possible. They're trying to run away. Their FTL's delayed. I didn't actually take out the cockpit, but nobody's actually manning the piloting, so I should be able to get out of here. Okay, my one fear, once again, with a layout like this is that if they can leave in under 15 seconds, if I can't do enough damage. Fortunately, 1 level of shield means that I might be able to get through here. And Pike Beam's just going to clean up. Horrible surrender offer. Horrible surrender offer. There we go. So not too bad. 24 scrap is a huge get. Gonna jump down here. see what else there is as we have another fight. And we have, I think, another border. So the anti-personnel drone is going to give him free hugs. I also realized, hey, wait a minute, I have no oxygen. So I take down one shield. The reason I took down one shield is because if you look at their weapon layout, they have missiles, yes, but that is a single shot laser. So all I need is one shield. Fortunately, I was able to micro my stuff pretty well there. Unfortunately, it's an Artemis missile, and that is terrible. And what I should have done, apparently, since it worked out the last time, was open up the doors to try and smoke out the little human that could. Instead, he just transported back. Wuss. Alright, so hull beam. Barely got a hit. And all I'm doing here is just trying to do as much system damage as possible, as now we have a lot of nasty things to deal with. Fortunately, even though I got missiled in the shields, I don't have to worry about but just one bubble of shields. I want to avoid that again. The worst thing about all of these missiles, though, is the fact that my hull is super low. So we'll have to monitor that situation. Alright. So here's a pretty good surrender offer. 3 fuel, I take it. The reason I take it is because the Artemis missile is just putting too much pressure. Alright, so unstore, distress beacon. So we definitely can do a repair. Flak 2! I've seen that from previous runs and it didn't go very well. I could get a combat drone, but it doesn't seem to mesh very well. So 79 scrap. Once again, not super inclined to do a lot of selling here. Not really in love with anything that I could buy. Sensors might be the only thing, because there's some events that play with sensors. But if you noticed on the map, there's not a lot of nebula sectors. So even though nebulas are disabled there, that's kind of how it works. Alright, so in that case, we are going to upgrade after doing some substantial repairs. And doors would be very important, but doors, I guess, are what we're going to be doing next. Yeah, like I said, the post-commentary, I'm really sorry about that. I've been trying to continue to make sure my audio is good, and one thing that I try and do is split out my audio tracks for my other things, but since the FTL games, I guess the proper word is that I got a little lazy, in that I just wanted to be able to record it and upload it. And by doing that, now I'm having to do double the work anyway, instead of having to set things to render, because now I'm going to have to do that in this, so lesson learned, I guess. We have a pirate. This pirate has 2 levels of shields, but his weapons are not very scary. In fact, this pirate, except for the fact that it can board us, cannot really hurt us unless that ion stunner can suddenly break through a lot of stuff. So here's another place where level 2 shields really have nullified an encounter. Unfortunately, my combat drone didn't heal up. So hopefully he's going to be okay. I do have 13 drone parts. So we can do a lot of damage here. There we go. Take down the systems. I don't think I can get the med bay and the oxygen at the same time. But I love layouts like this because you can just hit so many rooms. As I actually did manage to survive versus that silly human. So quick healing on the anti-personnel drone. As once again, they're firing the ions on my shields, but it's not doing. And here we go. That is a more generous bribe. Emergency respirators, 3, 4, and 30. As much as I want to be the hero, you're not going to get better than that, some kind of thing. If you reject it, you'll probably get like 12 scrap or some normal reward later. So there's emergency respirators. Don't really need them unless my one crew decides to stop breathing. I do have a store and 2 distress beacons. And to be honest, that's kind of a good place to stop because it gives me a little bit of a decision. I'm not sure if I want to hit both those distress beacons. Maybe one of them will have the damage stasis pod. I don't know. Hopefully the store can have something good, but it's an Engi B run, and we are in Sector 3. Can you believe it? We're in Sector 3, and we're actually in health in the green, and we got some good stuff going. So this is Asher. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we will continue this next time with more FTL action. Hopefully live commentary instead of post commentary, but still happy to bring it to you. Take care.